Welcome back to the online course on analog integrated circuits. In today's class, we are going to discuss about voltage controlled oscillator. We have seen earlier, in most of the case, the frequency of an oscillator is determined by the time constant RC. However, in some of the applications, the frequency needs to be controlled by applying some voltage or current as a control signal. This can be achieved in a voltage controlled oscillator or simply VCO. A VCO is a circuit that provides an oscillating output signal whose frequency can be adjusted over a range by applying DC voltage. An example for VCO is 566 IC unit that provides simultaneously the square wave and triangular wave with frequency as a function of an input control voltage. The block diagram of 566 IC unit is here. The frequency of oscillator is set by an external resistor R1 and capacitor C1, and the control voltage is supplied at pin number 5. This 566 IC unit contains constant current sources to charge and discharge an external capacitor C1 at a rate set by an external resistor R1 and modulating DC input voltage. A Schmitt trigger circuit is employed to switch the current source between charging and discharging the capacitor. The triangular voltage produced across the capacitor and the square wave from the Schmitt trigger are provided as the output through buffer amplifier. The Schmitt trigger is designed in such a way that the output swings between VCC and 0.5 VCC. VCC is the supply voltage is given here. Here RA and RB forms a voltage divider network and RA is equal to RB. Therefore, the voltage at the non-inverting terminal of the Schmitt trigger become half of the output at this point. As I said earlier, the output of the Schmitt trigger swings between VCC and 0.5 VCC, hence the voltage at the non-inverting terminal will swing between 0.5 VCC and 0.25 VCC. Let us consider the case the capacitor is charging by the constant current source. Initially, the capacitor voltage is below 0.5 VCC, hence the Schmitt trigger output will be high, that is VCC. The voltage at this non-inverting terminal is 0.5 VCC. When the capacitor starts charging and it exceeds 0.5 VCC, the inverting terminal voltage becomes higher than that of non-inverting terminal. Then the Schmitt trigger output becomes low, that is 0.25 VCC. When the Schmitt trigger output is low, the current source will get switched off and the capacitor starts discharging. The capacitor keeps on discharging, and when it reaches below 0.25 VCC, that is, the voltage at this inverting terminal becomes less than the voltage at this non-inverting terminal. The output voltage of the Schmitt trigger becomes high, that is VCC. And again the capacitor starts charging, so this process goes on. The system is designed in such a way that the current during charging and discharging are equal, hence the capacitor takes the same amount of time to charge and discharge between 0.25 VCC and 0.5 VCC. As a result, a triangular waveform across the capacitor is obtained at pin number 4 and the output of the Schmitt trigger is inverted and obtained at pin number 3. Let us calculate the frequency of the output voltage. So this is the triangular output obtained at pin number 4 and this is the Schmitt trigger output. This wave represents the output obtained at pin number 3, which is the inverted version of the Schmitt trigger output. the triangular output voltage is varying between 0.25 VCC and 0.5 VCC, and the Schmitt trigger output switching between 0.5 VCC and VCC. For a capacitor, Q is equal to CV, where C is the capacitance, here it is C1, and V is the voltage. And dQ by dt, which is the current I, is equal to C into dV by dt. So we can write dV by dt, the change in voltage divided by change in time, is equal to I by C1. The capacitor voltage is changes from 0.25 VCC to 0.5 VCC, so delta V is equal to 0.5 VCC minus 0.25 VCC. That is, delta V is equal to 0.25 VCC, and take the change in time as delta t, that is half of the time period. So delta V divided by delta t is equal to 0.25 VCC divided by delta t equal to I by C1. Then delta t is equal to 0.25 into VCC into C1 divided by I. So the time period t is equal to 2 into delta t, that is 0.5 into VCC into C1 whole divided by I. Then frequency is equal to the reciprocal of the time period, which is equal to I by 0.5 VCC into C1. 1 by 0.5 is equal to 2, hence the frequency becomes F is equal to 2I divided by VCC into C1. Here the voltage at this pin number 6 is same as the control voltage at pin number 5 due to the internal circuit setup. Hence the current through this resistance R1, that is I, is equal to VCC minus VC divided by R1. Hence the frequency becomes F is equal to 2 into VCC minus VC divided by VCC into R1 into C1. Now we can see that how the frequency can be controlled by the modulating voltage or control voltage VC. Another important parameter which characterizes the performance of IC 566 is the voltage to frequency conversion factor. It is defined as the ratio of change in frequency with respect to change in control voltage. It is denoted by kV and is equal to delta F divided by delta VC. Let F be the frequency when the control voltage is VC and F dash be the new frequency when the control voltage is reduced by delta VC. Hence, F dash is equal to 2 into VCC minus of VCC minus delta VC whole divided by R1 C1 into VCC. And we know F is equal to 2 into VCC minus VC divided by R1 C1 into VCC. Then delta F, that is F dash minus F, is equal to 2 delta VC divided by R1 C1 into VCC. Or we can rewrite delta VC is equal to delta F into R1 C1 VCC divided by 2. Hence, kV, that is delta F by delta VC, is equal to 2 divided by R1 into C1 into VCC. When no modulating voltage is applied, VC will be equal to 7 by 8 into VCC. This is due to the internal circuitry of the IC. Apply this value in this equation, hence we will get F0 will be equal to 0.25 divided by R1 C1, or R1 C1 is equal to 0.25 divided by F0. This R1 C1 can be applied in the equation for kV, hence we can rewrite this kV is equal to 2 divided by 0.25 divided by F0 into VCC. Or it will be equal to 8 F0 divided by VCC. So let me stop here today. We will continue in the next class. Okay, thank you.